Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you couldn't tell from the title, we're going to be talking about vintage Coach today, okay? I'm going to show you my entire vintage Coach collection. Sneak peek. You see the goods. I'm going to take you through my personal vintage Coach collection, and then if you can see over here in the corner, I do have a little unboxing for you guys because this has been like my current hyperfixation. I, for the longest time, thought we were all out here in the trenches, in antique malls, the thrift stores, like at estate sales and yard sales. I thought we were all in the trenches looking for these in the wild. No. People have been on Poshmark and eBay and Facebook Marketplace looking for these Coach bags and finding them. So I was like, oh, so I'm behind. Let me catch up. And I had been catching up. So showing off my collection, unboxing some new things, and then I will also share all of my tips and tricks, so stick around for the end of the video. But I will be sharing all my tips and tricks on how I find all my Coach bags. On average, I'm getting these for $50 or less. Okay, there's a couple like this one that I did pay $125 for, but look at her, she's stunning. Okay, stunning. You would have paid for it too. Are you kidding me? Beautiful. Anyway, that's what this video is going to be about. It's a little last minute. Nothing is really planned. I'm kind of just winging it. But I did give all my tips and tricks on Instagram and TikTok. Seemed to do really well over there. So I figured I would not leave you guys out and I would share it with my YouTube fam. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hopefully you don't mind. But without further ado, let's get into it. So I think a second ago I said I was going to start with my collection over here, but I'm actually going to start over here with the unboxing. I just feel like that's going to be more fun for me, and there's a couple of pieces over here that are going to end up over here in my collection, so I might as well unbox them so then we get the full effect of my collection, okay? And I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but I am also a vintage seller, so some of these are from my shop, okay? Because vintage Coach has been all the craze, and because I can get them so low, I'm able to price them like 2 or 3 times what I paid, and they're still below market value. I had a market recently, and I think I had everything 200 and under, and I sold 8 of the 12 bags that I brought. On average, they were like $75 to $115, and they were flying off my rack. So I think they're really cool to have in my booth right now. They're definitely drawing people's attention in. And like I said, some of these bags, like for the itty bitty ones, people are charging $150. I had them at my market for $85, and I had no issue selling them. So love that for me, love that for y'all. Let's get into this first one though. If you guys have been watching my shorts and you've been seeing me do these videos, and they are just like so much fun. Okay, here's our first baby. She's so cute. I just love these little impractical bags. I'm not even gonna hold you. They're perfect for date night because realistically, you shouldn't be paying for anything on your date. So all you need is your phone, maybe a digicam, some lip gloss, maybe a portable ring light. I don't know like how much of a diva you are, but you really don't need much on date night. And I love how this is embossed right here on the front. Like it's so subtle. The brown on brown eats. I think this is the one that I'm so geeked about. Oh my goodness. I could start crying right now. This is an absolute personal. I've been waiting for this to come in for like 2 whole weeks. Look at her. The studs, the color, the grommet, the braided detail on the strap here. I mean, it doesn't get much cuter than this, you guys. I have a story time about this beautiful bag, and I will share it later because it's relevant to like my tips and tricks. But wow, she is absolutely a personal, and going right over here. So that is not the last we've seen of that bag. Don't you worry. This oddly smells like banana. Like not necessarily in a bad way, but like in a banana bread way. Like they just freshly cooked some banana bread before they ship this out. You know what? I'm not mad at it though. It does need to be like stuffed, so let's pretend for a second here. This one I got for the shop. It was only $20 and it was like $8 to ship it. So I felt like, you know what, why not? It's just not my favorite silhouette, but like I do love the braided detail right there. And I think this is gonna be good for someone to take to work or something like that. It's very much giving businesswoman. It vaguely has like the kind of Birkin shape to it. So I think someone will really like this. I have a similar one in like a purple suede that has a bunch of likes on Depop, and it got a lot of attention at the market. But I feel like because it's suede, like people aren't really ready for fall yet. But I feel like once fall comes around, it gets cooler outside, we're ready to start switching to those deeper like plum colors. It's gonna be go time. I kind of cut deep on that one, so I really hope I did not accidentally cut this bag. My goodness. Oh, there's a lot of padding. We're fine, we're fine. Very nice, guaranteed, authentic. Usually I can tell online, but it's really nice when they like have already done the job for you. Again, it needs to be reshaped, but look how beautiful this color is. And I love the kind of like coin purse silhouette to it. Oh my goodness. Little hang tag. Stunner. And we have another chocolate brown baby. If you couldn't tell, I'm gearing up for fall, okay? Believe it or not, it will be here in the next month and a half. And as a vintage seller, you kind of have to be a little bit ahead of the game. You don't want to wait until the season hits to start listing stuff because you're already behind. I'm already getting offers and purchases on like leather jackets. Like at my last market, I sold a Penny Lane coat for $120, Wilson's leather, in Florida. Yeah, people are gearing up for fall already. So I was like, all right, well, let's start getting bags in order. People are already shopping my fall winter stuff from last year, which gives me the green light to start picking up coats again. My favorite at the thrift store. So this is gonna be another just like staple to have in your wardrobe come fall. So I'm really happy with this purchase. Another good one. Oh, I love when they come in the dust bags. You know what? I originally got this for the shop, but now that I have it here in person, I fear I might have to keep her. I'm kind of obsessed with whatever they did with this handle. Loving it. The kiss lock in the middle here, loving that. There's so many pockets in here. This is definitely not like vintage. It's kind of like that mid 2000s. It's not there yet. It's close, but this is more like that poppy era. You can kind of see from the change in the C's from like this classic C shape to this more like modernized thing. They did this kind of during their poppy era, which was like I said, like 2010s ish, but this is kind of everything to me. She's fun. Let me know down below if I should keep her or not. I think I am. Definitely needs some reshaping, but wow. Okay, okay. We're gonna put her over here for now. Can we just appreciate the color scheme I have working here? Like if this isn't me, I don't know what is. It's just like, oh my God, when you start to know yourself and figure out your personal style and what works for you and what you love, like there is no better than seeing cohesion here. Like look at all these different studs that we're seeing. Like that's a common theme. All neutral colors, like the leather. Let's start with this one. This is a classic. This is a shape that everyone's like obsessing over right now and trying to find. These are the bags that the girlies are trying to sell for like 400 bucks online right now, which is kind of insane. But I got this one actually at a thrift store and I paid 25 bucks for it. This was a couple years ago before these really started popping off again. So I'm very happy with this purchase. I've probably used this bag the most, but I've also had it the longest. So I feel like that makes sense, okay? And it's also just a really good shape and size, goes with anything and everything. This was literally my favorite daily driver for the longest. My second oldest bag would be this one. I found this one actually at an estate sale for 10 bucks. Yeah, perks of living in a no man's land, Alabama, okay? You can find the deals and steals. I'm not crazy about the gold hardware. You guys know I'm a silver girly, but she was in such good condition and she's a great size. classic silhouette. People go crazy for these online. So obviously I had to keep her, and I honestly use her quite a bit once it hits fall, especially when I'm like on trips like New York and stuff. I love having a bag like this on the go, okay? And when I go to like meetings and stuff for work, this is my bag. I feel like it's just a classic shape. It holds a bunch of stuff. You can't go wrong with it. So this is my next one in my collection. LOL. I am such a hypocrite now, aren't I? Look at the champagne color. I'm calling this champagne. It does look a little goldish on camera, and it does have gold hardware. I know I just said I do not like gold, and that's not a total lie. I just don't think it looks the best on me personally. I see gold on other people and I'm like, I'm living, like you look like an absolute goddess. But when I see it on me, I'm like, somehow it's washing you out. I just feel like I'm a silver girly. I feel like I've come alive with silver. But look at this bag. Like, I would be stupid to let this go. I'm sorry. The moment I pulled her out, I said, yup, you're my child. You are mine. I'll love you no matter what. And like, this is so buttery soft. Like, even on camera, it almost looks like liquid. Like, that's how beautifully worn in this leather is. Oh my God. And it's got like the perfect little slouch to it. Like, that's what I love in a bag. Okay, I love a little slouchiness. I love hardware. I mean, I'm not gonna explain myself anymore. I'm not gonna justify it. Just know this is a gorgeous bag and I love gorgeous things. Okay, my next pride and joy, my legacy bag. This is my go-to fall bag. I mean, how could it not be? Again, with the gold hardware. I gotta keep my mouth shut and stop saying I don't like things because I'm just eating my words. But again, look how beautiful this bag is. It also has a longer strap on the inside, so if I wanted to attach it and make it like a crossbody, I could. But I could also be cute and quirky, not get a labubu or anything, but I could put some charms on the side pieces right here and it would look really cute. But yeah, this is my legacy bag. I got it for $85 shipped last year off eBay. Stunning. I mean, it does not get much more perfect than this right here. Look at this beauty. Yes, you do see gold hardware here. I know. Ignore it. Ignore it. But look at the color. It's like this beautiful mahogany color. The studs are right up my alley. I mean, this little detail on the side, plus these little fringe moments, like, I was eating it up. I'm sorry, I was eating it up. I actually got this last minute on an eBay auction, and this was probably one of my best decisions I've made in the last month. Look how stunning. I mean, again, for fall, I'm set. I'm absolutely set. She's a beauty. And I could even carry her kind of like those high fashion girlies do, like a little clutch underneath my shoulder. Do you see the vision? Do you see the vision though? Hopefully you do, because if not, I might just have to do another styling vid. Okay, don't pull my finger. Don't pull my finger. I low key, you know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of falling in love with doing styling vids. I think I am. So shout out to you guys for pushing me to do this. I saw this bag on Pinterest one singular time, and then I made it my life's mission to find my own. Originally, I found one on Mercari for like $30, and it was like in a brown leather instead of this yellow color, and I was so happy about it. And then a week turned into 2 weeks without hearing anything from the seller, and then it turned into week 3, and I was like, okay, just cancel my order. Like, why are you just holding on to my money? Like, do you have it? Do you not have it? Like, I would really love it. No answer. So I had to get Mercari involved, and my order got canceled. But I did find this one on Curtsy, which is another resale platform and not very popular at all, but that's where I found this one. It was up for like $40 plus shipping. I asked if she would be willing to do free shipping. She said yes, so I got this $40 all in, shipping included, and she's beautiful. I love this silhouette right here. Like, I'm eating it up. Love all of it. Like, for the fall, she's perfection. My bread and butter right here, this is not even something that was really on my radar, like, at all. It was just like shown to me on my like timeline, my like suggested for you, like curated feed when I opened up Poshmark, this one popped up, and I'm just a sucker for black and silver and some studs, okay? So this was kind of speaking to me. The shape is a little odd, but it's so good on. Let me see if I can show you. Like, I don't know, I think it looks good on, you know what I mean? And it was only 20 bucks. It is a little damaged, but for 20 bucks, with discounted shipping, I think the discounted shipping was like $5.99 or something like that. So basically $25 for this bag. And the only thing that's damaged is this piece right here, which it just, like, the leather has separated a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. But the leather has separated. So honestly, I just need to take it somewhere so you can tuck that little piece back in and then sew up the leather. Like, that's an easy fix. And for 25 bucks, who am I to say no? Okay. They got me, I'm not gonna lie. We obviously saw this beautiful baby. Just one more look at her real quick before we move on. Oh my gosh, I'm so geeked about her. And this one, I mean, come on, she is such a cute little shape. Now we need to get into my heavy hitters, okay? First one being this one. Yes. The suede, the fringe, the buckle. Look at this, again with the studs. This is right up my alley. This is my new prized possession. I love her down. If you've been watching my shorts, then you've already seen her, but like, are we seeing this? I mean, she's just absolute perfection. Especially for like rodeo season, come on. I need to move back to Texas like so bad. I just feel like this is not appreciated enough here in Alabama. But if I was back in Houston, the girlies would be eating this up. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my actual prized possession. This has been my biggest come up since I started hunting online for vintage Coach bags. This will never, ever, 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 ever leave my closet. Okay, this is vintage Coach, which is crazy in itself. I mean, look at this freaking bag. And it's genuine pony hair. Best part of it is 40 bucks shipped. Poshmark. Yeah, baby. Okay, so originally I saw this on shopgoodwill.com, which I know, you know, they've done some shady things. They are not always the best company, okay? We all know that, but they do have this bidding platform online called shopgoodwill.com, and you can find some really good deals on there. Since it is all bidding, sometimes things go like crazy high and not worth that at all, and other times things go for like stupid cheap just because they were like overlooked. I've seen some of those like Soho bags that are easily selling for like $300 something go for like $105 over there. Okay, like the deals can be had over there. And I saw this one while I was like just browsing around, and it was going for like 200 something bucks. It was still like 2 days left, and I was like, I'm not paying that. So I took the image from Goodwill, put it into reverse image search on Google, okay? And I was looking up other listings, trying to find a same bag, similar bag, but for like the low, okay? And eventually I was shown this one specifically on Poshmark, and the seller had it up for 70 bucks. And I was like, there's gotta be something wrong with it. Like, why is it so low? Vintage Coach, pony hair, 70 bucks. Odd. But and then I was looking closer, and as you can see, it's like starting to lose some hair in a couple places. Like, again, on the sides here. Not something I'm too concerned about, because this is beautiful. And if it's gonna be that much cheaper just because it's losing hair in a couple spots, like, that's fine with me. I have no problem with that at all. So I just liked the listing, and I didn't think anything of it, because I was like, maybe I can still find one in better condition at a cheap price. Well, then homie sent me an offer for 40 bucks. When I tell you guys, I have never hit purchase so fast in my entire life. Like, literally speed of light. Okay, I was not about to miss that opportunity with an offer like that. $40 free shipping for this beautiful bag, like, all day, every day. I'm paying that. I am paying that easy. Still shook. Like, you guys, these two look like this. I mean, they're all in the same family. This is like my Western collection right here. Are you seeing the Western collection? Cute. This right here, we're gonna call my fall collection. I mean, look at the colors. It's perfect for fall. Corporate goth, okay? Because, I mean, the goth girlies might rock this. The alt girlies might rock these for sure. Like, don't get me wrong. But some of these just feel like a little businessy. So yeah, this is my alt collection. My collection's inside my collection. Yeah, so I think that is all my bags, and that is my entire unboxing. So let's finally get into these tips and tricks to find your own. Grab a pen and paper, because I do have a pretty hefty list, because I am not holding back. I am sharing each and every secret that I have. I will back it up with video evidence, okay? If you know me, you know I don't lie. And I don't gatekeep, okay? You guys are my besties and I trust you. If I'm having a come up, I want you to have a come up too, okay? We're all in this together. And if you're not subscribed after this, you really should be, because who's telling y'all like I'm telling y'all? Nobody. The girlies want to gatekeep this information. Meanwhile, I'm willingly and happily sharing it. If I could log into my computer. Beautiful. All right, I hope you have your pen and your paper. If you need to go get a snack, do it now. If you need to get a drink of water, do it now, because you cannot leave once the class is in session, okay? That is the rule. So handle that, and I'll be right back. Hello class, welcome to How to Find Vintage Coach Bags on the Low 101. My name is Kennedy and I will be your instructor for this lecture, okay? So buckle up, because it's going to be a juicy one. First off, let's talk about my favorite platforms, because none of these tips that I'm going to tell you will really be relevant if you don't even know where to start looking, okay? My favorite platforms in order: number one, Poshmark. Okay, I just feel like so many of the people on Poshmark are really just trying to clear out their closets. They don't care what they have, or they don't know what they have, which is like the main goal. That's what you want when you're looking for things on the low. You want to find people who have no idea what they have, or just like literally don't care. And I feel like Poshmark is really good about that. So much so that like you will like an item, kind of like how I was telling you a second ago. I simply just liked that pony hair bag, and within, you know, a day, they had already sent me an offer. I didn't even have to send them an offer. They sent me an offer because they wanted it gone, and it was nearly 50% off. All I did was like it, okay? So Poshmark is one of my favorite platforms to shop on. The only downside to Poshmark, they do not get rid of those old listings. So you will see some really good Coach bags for the low, and it's like this seller was last active in April of 2020. And in the comments, you'll see so many people like, is this available? Is this available? Oh my God, I love this bag. Like, I just sent you an offer. Is it available? Babe, look at the last time that girl was active. 2020. We are in the big 2025, almost 2026. It has been 6 years. Give it up. It's not happening. You know what I mean? So that's really upsetting, because you might find your like dream bag for the low on Poshmark, but the seller hasn't been active in some years. So be prepared for that heartbreak. There's no real way to be prepared, but just know that's a big possibility, okay? Next one is eBay, okay? eBay sellers are something serious though, okay? They do not play over there. They are literally the OGs of this like selling it game, but you can still find some people who are just trying to clear out some stuff and get rid of it, and you can send some offers. I love when I see the price or best offer. Or best offer, that is like my green light. Except some of these people will also accept offers, but it's like, okay, ask for $10 off and it automatically declines. Like, if you won't even do $10 off, why are you even accepting offers? You know what I mean? But I have found some really good pieces on eBay that I'm really proud of. That this legacy bag was from eBay, and it was only $85, which is like kind of crazy. So I cannot, you know, talk my ish on eBay. They really do have the goods. Mercari, I would put Mercari number one, but that is where I've had like the most cancellations. But I feel like the selection on Mercari is top tier, and I have found so many good bags for like $25 or less over there. Like I think that's where I've honestly found my cheapest bags, but I haven't always gotten them because the sellers like either bail out or they just like refuse to ship it, and I have to like hound them for a while, and then I never end up getting it. I have to get a refund. So that's like the only downside about Mercari, but like they do have some of like the best selection in my humble opinion. And if I hadn't been canceled on so much over the last like month and a half, then I would put Mercari number one. And then last but not least, shopgoodwill.com. I've already kind of touched on this a little bit, but I have found some deals and steals, and I've also missed out on some deals on there, which is like really frustrating. And I know like I said earlier, we're not all huge fans of Goodwill and what they stand for, but shopgoodwill.com, I'll put some screenshots on the screen. There have been some bags that have gotten away, and I'm just like kicking and screaming at myself for not setting an alarm to make sure I didn't miss it, because I mean these bags were going well under market value. Some of these bags, they're like bags I've never even seen before by Coach, and they're on there. Like I had never seen like this pony hair bag before. I never would have guessed this was Coach. Never would have guessed this was Coach until I saw it on their website. Same with the Western one. I have never ever seen this Coach bag because it's not one of like the most popular bags right now. Not everyone's talking about, but like this just happened to be on shopgoodwill.com. If I did not see it there, then I would not have this bag at all. So like I'm saying, like shop Goodwill, you know what I mean? They don't leave it in store. They do put it online, but honestly, getting this one for $125 after shipping, like that feels like a really good deal. Like I'm not even upset about that. So shopgoodwill.com is good too. You do just have to like be wary of those shipping costs, because sometimes it gets out of hand real quick. But they do have like a little estimate tool on the bottom of each listing, so you can kind of put in your address and see roughly how much shipping would be. And they do have an option for in-store pickup if you happen to be like in the area where the store is. You can also do a free in-store pickup. You don't have to pay for shipping, but sometimes shipping is like super reasonable. It's like 8 to 10. Other times like I got finessed because I didn't realize that, you know, shipping would be so crazy because they don't like actually show it when you're bidding. It's not until like later that you figure out how much shipping actually is. So the first time I ever bought something off of there, I think it was like $30, and then after shipping and handling it was nearly $60, and I was like, what actually just happened to me? It's because I bought an item from Goodwill of Hawaii, which is a long way away from Alabama, so that shipping cost was stupid high, and it was like a fully leather bag, and so it was kind of heavy. It was, yeah, just look at that. And then Facebook Marketplace I think is good, but you have to be either in a major city or you have to be like in a rich or fashionable state. So like if you're in somewhere like California, Florida, New York, Texas, Illinois, like you probably have great luck on Facebook Marketplace. Like even in Atlanta, I see stuff over there all the time, but like it takes me 3 hours to get to Atlanta. It's in a whole nother state. That's a road trip. Like typically I'm not that dedicated unless I'm making it like a whole weekend. I'm not just gonna drive out to Atlanta just to pick up a Coach bag, you know what I mean? So if you live in a major city, definitely check out Facebook Marketplace. It's just not up there for me personally, simply because the stuff in my area is next to none. Like literally next to none. I think I have 10 options, and it's been the same 10 options for the last like 6 months on Facebook Marketplace. So if you're in a small town, maybe not so much that one, but definitely Facebook Marketplace if you're in a bigger area. The girlies in California rave about Facebook Marketplace. Same with the girlies in Dallas. Like just rubbing it in our face. I see them all the time on TikTok talking about it. But yeah, those would be my main platforms, but let's get into the nitty gritty on how to actually get the bags now that you know what platforms to keep an eye on. My first official and most important tip I can give you is to keep it vague. The moment you start throwing out those trigger words, vintage, Y2K, legacy, demi, Hampton, the moment you start searching up specifically vintage bags, the moment you start searching up specific Coach names, like Coach bag names, it's over for you. You've already lost. Pack it up. And you wonder why you're not finding anything, because you're triggering the other vintage sellers, and you're triggering those people who have already done their market research and know exactly what they have. those are not the people you want to buy from if you're trying to find it for the low. If you're just trying to find like a good quality bag, then for sure, you can search all that up and you'll find exactly what you're looking for. But if you want to find it for the low, it's going to take more work. So my biggest tip is to keep it vague. Every single bag that I found has been under Coach bag, Coach handbag, Coach purse, Coach pocketbook. I'm keeping it as simple as possible. I've even gone as far as misspelling Coach, and it pulled up a totally different search on eBay just by accidentally flipping the O and the A. Because people make typos. These are the people you want to look out for. They don't know what they have. They don't care about what they have. They just want it gone. So they're going to be the people to be giving you the best deals. Okay, they're going to be the ones just listing it for whatever price just to get rid of it. Okay, those are the people you want, so you have to keep it vague. And it's going to take more work. You're definitely going to have to go down the rabbit hole and doom scroll and doom scroll and doom scroll until you start to find some pieces. But trust me, when you find it for $25 instead of $250, you won't be complaining. So keep it vague. Tip number 2, set that max price to like $50. I know that sounds stupid low and like you're never gonna find anything under that, but I promise you, I do that with literally every single one of my bags, and 90% of the bags that I have found have been under $50 with shipping included, okay? Because if it's set at $50, I'm never taking face value for any of these bags. I don't care, even if it's already $30 and that's great for a Coach bag, I'm gonna send an offer just to see what's up. Just to see if they'll bite, and sometimes they do. Like earlier today, it was this really pretty like Coach patent leather bag. It's a good little slouchy fit. It was listed at $30. I saw that they hadn't updated that listing since like February or something like that, so I sent them an offer for $20. They accepted. Now it's mine. I just got a vintage Coach bag for $20 plus $8 on top of it to ship. I mean, hello. There's so much wiggle room there, but you do have to do a lot more digging in that $50 range, because you'll see a lot of modern bags, you'll see a lot of wristlets, you'll see a lot of crossbodies, the stuff that like not a lot of people are into, which is why it's already low. But like, I promise you, if you are dedicated enough to the craft and you just dig and dig and dig, you'll start to see those silhouettes and bags that you're interested in for the low. And never ever ever buy it at face value. Just send the offer. Okay, just send the offer, see what happens. Occasionally, at least on Poshmark, I will bump it up to $75 because of situations like that pony hair bag where it was originally listed at $70. I liked it, and then all of a sudden I'm getting an offer for $40. Okay, like I said, Poshmark is really quick to send some offers, and a lot of times they want to get rid of stuff, so I don't mind setting it a little bit higher for Poshmark in case I do get those offers that are big enough so it ends up within my budget. Okay, because $40 free shipping was well within my budget, especially for a bag like that. So occasionally I will set it to $75, but like $50 is my sweet spot, like across platforms. And it's worked out really, really well for me. So I would say set that max price to like $50. Weed out all that extra nonsense you don't want to see. For tip number 3, reverse image search. That is going to be your absolute best friend. That's how I found this one. This one, again, from Shop Goodwill, reverse image search, found it on Poshmark. You got it again for $40 shipped. And this is like a great way to find those very specific styles that you're looking for without actually having to type in the name. So like if you're looking for a demi bag, if you're looking for a Soho bag, if you're looking for a Hampton, if you're looking for one of those legacies, I would recommend taking an image from Poshmark or Google, wherever you found it, reverse image searching it into Google, and typically on Google it will pull up a bunch of like online listings of that exact bag or something that looks very similar, and you can just shop through there, because sometimes people do have those bags and they're listed for the low, but they're just under Coach bag. Okay, so you probably would have never found it without going through the rabbit hole, and even after searching for hours and hours and hours, there's still so much on there and new things are being listed every day. Like, it's impossible to see every single bag out there. So reverse image search kind of expedites that process for those very specific bags and styles that you're looking for. So I do recommend reverse image search. I think we're on tip number 4. Regardless of what number this is, my next tip is to be patient and send offers. Okay, so on eBay, if I see a bag that I like and they accept offers, I'm sending an offer right away, because I feel like on eBay they don't send offers as often as I would like them to. So if it says or best offer on the listing, I'm sending an offer. Now, like I said earlier, sometimes they're really stingy with their offers. They're like, oh, I accept offers, but like the most they'll accept is $5 off. kind of crazy to me, and sometimes that makes me mad to the point that like I don't want the bag bad enough, because it's like, why would you say you accept offers if you are only gonna accept $5 off and won't even take $7? Like, that's crazy. But on eBay, like, if they accept offers, I'm sending one right away. On Mercari, if I see it at a good price, I'm sending an offer right away. Poshmark is the only place that I will stop and wait. I will give them a full 24 hours to send me an offer before I even think about sending them an offer, because there have been a couple times where I've liked an item and, you know, I'm thinking like, wow, well, I should send, like, it's at, oh my god, it's listed at like 40. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll send them an offer for 25, but I don't, and I just wait it out. Now I'm getting an offer for 20 from them, and it's like, if I would have sent an offer right away, I would have missed out on the opportunity. So Poshmark is the only place I really will just sit there and kind of let it marinate for the first 48 hours. If they haven't sent anything to me, then I'll go ahead and I'll send my lowball offers. And over there, you can get a little bit crazier. I feel like Mercari and eBay kind of have like limits on how low you can send an offer, but that's one of the reasons that Poshmark is like my number one, because they will just flat out let you send 50% off. And nobody cares. There's no like, sorry, it has to be within this range. Like, no, they will let you send like the most egregious offers, and honestly, sometimes they do get accepted. I'm sending out Hail Marys and they do get accepted. I do want to remind you guys though, when you send out these offers on eBay and Poshmark and Mercari, that they are binding. The only person who's not binding is Depop, and I, as you can tell, I have not said nothing. Oh, that's bad grammar. I have not said anything about Depop when it comes to finding these things for low, because I swear everything on Depop that looks too good to be true is in fact too good to be true. There are no older people on that app trying to just get rid of stuff. That's not the platform for that, okay? Speaking as a seller myself, like, so I would not even think about buying a Coach bag for the low on Depop. Don't do that. Don't. Just don't, trust me on that. I've seen so many people get scammed on TikTok, like, and it's just funny to me because it's like, that's the last place I would have found, or like I would have thought to buy a cheap Coach bag. That just screams I'm scamming you. But if it's like a decent price, like $100, $150, like, for sure buy it, because that can still be, you know, below market value, but still be believable that like it's real and genuine. But if it looks too good to be true on Depop, it absolutely is. So don't even worry about Depop. But yeah, everywhere else those offers are binding, so just keep that in mind. If you're sending out 4 or 5, you might end up with 3 new bags in the morning. So if you're not prepared to spend like $100 overnight on accident, like, you know, maybe be a little frugal with how you send out those offers. But it's kind of fun to wake up and you're like, oh my god, they actually accepted my lowball offer. Like, that's crazy. So yeah, send offers and be patient. Speaking of patience, let's bring this little cutie back out. I said I had a story time about her, and now it's her time to shine. Okay, so I originally saw this bag on eBay and it was going for like $100 something, and I was like, no, I can find that cheaper. So I did the whole 9, reverse image search, yada yada yada, found this on Poshmark. Okay, I sound like a broken record, but this is literally how I find all my bags. Found it on Poshmark for $65, which is not too far out of my range, but I definitely wanted to get it down within my range. But this was going to be a personal, so if I had to pay up a little bit, I wasn't going to be mad about it. But like, I don't want to pay $65 if I don't have to. I was getting something off. Like I said, never ever 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 accept face value for these bags, okay? So since it was listed at $65, I was like, let me just send an offer for $40. Declined it, offered me $60. So I said $45. They said no, $60. I said $50. They said no, $60. I was like, $57. They said no, $60. I was like, okay, you're being real petty and I don't like it. So I'm not playing these games. And I literally just logged off, because mind you, this was basically like a live bidding war going back and forth. Like, I had my app open. I guess they did too, because we were within seconds, like back to back to back sending these offers, right? And so after they hit me with 60 for that last time, I was kind of in my feelings, because I was like, that's so stupid. Like, I can just go find another one. So I left the platform, got back on my computer, and started to look for other purses like this one for a cheaper price, and it was not going well. Okay, not going well. I was not seeing anything below 60, and I was like, I might have to kick, because I like really want it. And about 20 minutes goes by, and then all of a sudden I get a notification saying that the item price has dropped to $55 with discounted shipping. When I tell you guys, I jumped on that opportunity immediately and purchased it. What do you mean? First of all, you were being so petty. We went back and forth, and you were so headstrong on making me pay $60 for this thing, and I was not having it. So when I didn't respond by just accepting your offer, you decided to hit me with $55 shipping. I mean, I'm not mad, but like I literally offered to pay $57 plus full price shipping not even 30 minutes ago, and you were petty enough to send me $60 back. Now look at you. Now you're selling it for $55. Patience, man. Like, I'm not even like mad at it. Just it's so funny because I literally offered to pay more, and because they want to be petty and say no, they end up getting less money for it. That's on them, you know what I mean? That's on them, but patience, it paid off, and now it's mine, and she's a cutie. My new pride and joy. What else? Be nice, do not be pushy, okay? If you're pushy, they will block you. Do not be harassing these people over a freaking bag. The amount of stories that I've seen on like TikTok of these girls who like didn't know the value of what they had. Like they had just thrown up like their vintage Coach bag for $80, and they had like some other like vintage sellers in their DMs on Depop, like trying to get them to do $40 and like really hounding them to get the price down just so that they could resell it. And these girls are feeling a type of way, and I do think it's like really slimy, so I never really want to prey on that. But like that's why I really like Poshmark and eBay and Mercari. I feel like those are the people who really don't care about what they have. Like they really just want it gone, okay? And they wouldn't accept my offers if like they didn't want to. Like no one's forcing them to do that. They clearly just want it gone. So I never really feel bad by purchasing and like flipping for my own shop. You guys might feel differently, but that's just how I see it. They get what they wanted, I get what I wanted, and once it's in my possession, like I'm free to do whatever I want with these bags. So that might be a little controversial, but I never want to be pushy with these people that I'm buying from. So if they really are going back and forth with me, like that last girl I was just telling you about, like I'll just drop it. You know what I mean? Like I'll do a little bidding war here. Oh my God, bidding war here and there. But like if it's coming to a point that I don't like it, like I'm just gonna drop out and I'm gonna let you have it. You know what I mean? And like on Mercari, there have been a couple times where that shipping price is crazy. Like I've seen stuff coming from New York being $22 to get to me. What? This girl was selling a Coach bag. I think she was like in Oregon or like something on the West Coast, and the bag was really cute at $29, but like shipping was like $17 or something, which is over half of what the bag is, like what they were selling the bag for. And I was like, I cannot justify paying half the cost of the bag and shipping costs just to get it to me. Like that's not worth it. So I simply just messaged the seller, and I was like, hey, absolutely love this bag, but is there any way we can get the shipping down? Maybe sending in a poly mailer instead of a box. I know USPS ground is a little bit cheaper than FedEx. Like, is there any way we can get the shipping price down? Because I would really love to purchase. Just being super nice, transparent, just asking them a simple question. Within 24 hours, they responded back and was like, hey, so sorry, like, let me look into it. Next thing I know, I'm getting a notification that this listing had been updated. All of a sudden it went from $17 shipping to $29 free shipping. Just by being nice and being like, hey, love this bag, would really love to purchase. Can we get that down? Being nice goes a long way, okay? Because I would have gladly paid $10 in shipping, but I wasn't paying $17. I know it was coming from way over there, so I expected shipping to be high. So the fact that it went from 17 to nothing, ask those questions, okay? Be nice. I did that with another seller, and originally the price for shipping was like $20 or something. And I said again, like, hey, I don't mind if it goes in a poly mailer, but like, please, like, can we figure out how to get that shipping cost lower? Because I will buy it like literally right now. All of a sudden it went from that super high price. They looked into it, now it's $11 to ship. I will pay that gladly, and I bought it immediately, and I left them a great review. They're happy, I'm happy. Like, just being nice goes a long, long way. Do not push these people, okay? There are so many bags on the marketplace. If they don't want to budge, move on to the next person. It will never be that deep to start harassing people online over an item that you want. I don't care how bad you want it. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. You move on, okay? If you found it once, you can find it again. Do not stress. And don't stress these poor people out either, okay? These are just bags. I'm going to end this video with a bonus tip, which is how I actually secured this bag. This was absolutely not at all on my radar, but occasionally I will get on eBay throughout the day and I'll just click on, I'll type in Coach purse or Coach handbag, whatever. And then once the search pull up, I will go to the filters and I will click on ending soonest, and it'll show all the bags that are about to be like taken off the market, whether it was an auction or whether it's just been like their 30 days that it's been listed and now it's going to be taken down and potentially relisted or whatever. And this one popped up immediately and it had like 15 minutes left in its auction, and there was only one bid on it. It was sitting at $60, and I was like, this is a freaking gorgeous bag. I think I need it. So I set a timer on my phone for 12 minutes and I waited till that went off. The 12-minute mark came around and I checked on it. There was still only the one bid at $60 with 3 minutes to go. So I was like, okay, well, let's just wait until it reaches 30 seconds. And if no one else has bid, like, we're gonna throw a bid in and we're gonna snipe this bag. So at the 30-second mark, no one else had bid. So I went ahead and I dropped $75 as my max bid, okay, because that really was my max. I would still have to pay like the $10 it was to ship it. So I was like, this is already like out of my budget, but like for the plot, you know what I mean? And this is gonna be such a good fall bag. I cannot wait to style it. So I was like, you know, it's a personal, it's worth it. I dropped the 75. Next thing I know, there's an offer going in for 65. It pops up and I'm like, oh no. And then another one pops up at 68. I was like, oh no. I was like, am I gonna get outbid in the last 30 seconds? Like, the adrenaline was like through the freaking roof. And eBay is kind of good about updating in real time, so you can see it. But like I said, it was within the last 30 seconds, so things were moving pretty fast. All of a sudden I saw 3, 2, 1, and then eBay's like, okay, hold on, we're determining the winner. And you really don't know if you won or if that other person got in until like, you know, a minute later or whatever. That's how it feels, at least, for them to like figure out who the winner was. And next thing I know, like the next screen comes up and it's like, you won $71. And I was like, thank goodness, okay? And now I have this gorgeous bag. I paid $71, probably like $80 total after like shipping and handling, maybe 82. But you know what? Vintage Coach, look at this beauty. Like, absolutely no flaws, like beautiful condition. The color, the fringe, like the studs. This is such a me bag. Like, it's actually insane. So I am not mad about paying that at all, but definitely check in on occasion on those bids, okay? Because sometimes, like I said, that was not even on my radar. I hadn't even seen that one, probably because it was at 60 and I usually put my range at like 50, so that's probably why it hadn't popped up for me under my search. But I mean, I have no regrets. It's a really good bag. So definitely check on that ending soonest tab from time to time to see like what's good, what's tea. You might find your dream bag just sitting there waiting for you under market value. All right, everyone, that is going to conclude today's video. I hope you enjoyed this very impromptu video. I have to quickly go edit this so it can go up tonight. If you're seeing this on the very first day it drops, I'm literally recording this. It's currently 4 o'clock. I still need to edit this and get it up hopefully by 8. Will I do it? Will I not? If you're seeing this on Thursday, July 17th, I did it. So be proud of me. But definitely let me know in the comments what your favorite bag is in my personal collection. If you have any questions about shopping for Coach bags, if there's something that like I touched on that you are confused about, or if you have any other questions that I didn't answer, like definitely let me know down below and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. I want us all to win. I know vintage Coach bags are all the craze right now, and they're getting more and more expensive by the day, but there's definitely ways to find some cute vintage ones for the low. So hopefully you found this helpful. Definitely let me know down in the comments if you did. I will see you guys next week. We will be back to thrifting because after that last market, I have a lot of replenishing to do, and I have another big market coming up mid-August that we need to get prepared for because I have a big booth for that one as well. So we definitely need to get our volume up because my recs were looking so bare by the end of my last one. It was a little embarrassing. So it's about to be a freaking free-for-all. We might be making a trip to New Orleans to do some thrifting and going to a concert. So keep your eyes out for that. It's gonna be a fun one. But yeah, I will see you guys next week. Until then, I hope you live a happy, beautiful, wonderful life. I love you so much. Subscribe if you aren't already. And I think that's it. Okay. Bye.